With this project we're going to be working with Griffin bead cord, check glass round Druk beads, Preciosa seed beads and Swarovski crystal bicone beads. The needle I am using is integrated within the twist of the Griffin bead cord. Pre-squeeze the eye of the needle to make it smaller. This will ensure the smallest hole beads within the design will pass over your needle. Pick up the beads that will create the decorative part of the closure first, taking your beads right to the end of your thread. Tie a knot in the end of your thread to prevent the beads from falling off. Infuse clear drying craft glue into the centre of the knot using a darning needle or a cocktail stick before pulling the knot tight. I am using a water-based clear drying craft glue. Pick up the beads that will be the body of the bracelet, leaving a 12 cm gap between the first set of beads. The last beads to be picked up will be the beads that make up the other side of the closure, again leaving a 12 cm gap between the main body of the beads. I'm not going to create the finalising knot just yet. I'm just creating a knot to keep the beads from slipping off the end. Cut by melting the end of the bead cord. Take both ends of the bracelet, placing the threads parallel to one another. Take a separate 30 cm length from the spare bead cord. Placing the 30 cm thread behind my two parallel threads, I take the thread from the left side, cross it over the top of the two central threads. Holding the loops created in place, I will take the thread from the right side over the top of the thread from the left side. Then continue by taking the thread from the right side under the central threads and pull it up through the loop created. Pull the knot tight. Taking hold of the thread now on the left, cross it under the centre two threads, hold the loop of thread in place and place the thread on the right under the thread. Continue by crossing the thread on the right over the centre threads and then down through the loop created. Pull your threads so your new knot is snugged up to the previous knot. Repeat these two knots until you have created at least 10 to 12 knots. This gives a substantial sliding clasp. Take the left thread and the right thread and create a simple knot on top of the centre cords, leaving the centre threads out of the knot. Pull gently so the knot sits close to your work, but leave a little loose to apply clear dry glue generously into the knot before pulling completely tight. Leave this to dry before cutting off the ends as close to the knot as possible. Melt the ends to form a small seal. The simple knot sits on top of your work. This will become the back of the bracelet. The first knot created for your closure can also be finished off by melting the thread. You need at least a 5 cm each side of the closure to open the bracelet large enough to put it over your wrist. With the bracelet closed and the first side measuring 5 cm, measure the second side. Create the final knot and seal the end.